Hello there. Today I'd like to talk about the do's and don'ts of evicting tenants. Deciding to evict a tenant should not be taken lightly. However, there may come a time when the eviction is the only possible and final option. To begin the eviction process and seek possession of the property, you must follow strict procedures in order to have a tenant removed. To help you understand your responsibilities and what you need to do, I've compiled a list of do's and don'ts. So first, the do's. Do talk to your tenant. It's always preferable to resolve disputes without the need for court action. See if you can reach an agreement with your tenant in the first instance, or help them come up with a plan for repaying any tenant arrears. Make sure you keep a log of any correspondence and that any agreement reached is recorded in writing. Check which eviction process to take. When considering the process of eviction, there are two possibilities for terminating a tenancy in England and Wales. A Section 8 notice, where the tenant has broken the terms of the tenancy, or a Section 21 notice if you want your property back after the fixed term has ended. To give your tenants notice using a Section 8, you must fill in a notice seeking possession of a property let on an assured tenancy or an assured agricultural occupancy. You can give between 2 weeks and 2 months notice depending on terms of the tenancy that they've broken. You can then apply to the court for a possession order if your tenant doesn't leave by the specified date. You can issue a Section 21 notice if your tenant has either a written agreement with a fixed term which is ended, an oral or written periodic agreement with not a specified end date, and when issuing a Section 21 notice you must provide your tenant with at least 2 months notice in which to leave the property. And you must also provide your tenant with an up-to-date gas safety certificate, the property's energy performance certificate, the prescribed information relating to the protection of the deposit, a copy of the licence and a copy of the government's How to Rent guide. So what are the don'ts? Well, don't neglect your obligations. When trying to evict a tenant, you've got to make sure your end of the lease agreement has been upheld. Landlord obligations such as maintenance issues still need to be diligently addressed. Failure on your part could result in legal action. Don't change the locks. Entering the property to change the locks without notice and prior to the tenant vacating the premises is a criminal offence, and that could lead to a hefty fine or even imprisonment. Something to really think about. Don't remove the tenant's belongings from the property. Holding a tenant's belongings hostage in lieu of unpaid rent or removing it from the property before the tenant has left is also a criminal offence, one for which you could be heavily penalised. And failing to return tenants' possessions could result in prosecution. Don't shut off the property's utilities. Switching off the utilities such as gas, water, electricity, etc. is a big no-no, so please don't do it. As a landlord, you need to fulfil your legal obligations, and shutting off a tenant's water supply again could end in criminal action. So I hope that's been of help with some do's and don'ts on regards to evicting tenants. If you need any further advice, please do let me know. I'm Kevin Parson, and thank you for joining me. Look forward to speaking to you soon.